Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Maybe you're wondering, why are you dressed for Spooky Day? Hasn't Spooky Day already passed? And yes, that is true. By the time that you guys are watching this video, it is now November, very nice fall month time, and Spooky month is indeed over, but at the time that I am filming this, it is in fact Spooky Days. So allow me to partake in just one final day of scares, because as you probably could tell by the thumbnail that you saw, there was indeed something pretty scary that happened to me pretty recently with that shipping price that you see. And you're probably asking yourself, what on earth are you buying that costed that much to ship? Now usually I would give you guys the whole anime backstory first and then show you what I bought, but in order for you to understand this, I kind of have to show it to you anyway, so let me go ahead and show you what I got. So it is actually in two different boxes. This is the first one. Actually, this is the second one, but it doesn't really matter. Now there is another item in here. I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then we can get onto what caused that price. Time for the big reveal. Ta-da-da! Yes, as you can see, Cinema Roll was that gosh darn heavy that I was going to have to pay $100 in shipping for him. In all seriousness though, if you can't tell exactly what these are, I'm going to have to open them up a little bit just to show you. So if you still have not caught on to what exactly this little guy is, this is actually a storage container. So essentially what you do is you open up the box like this, take this, place it inside the bottom, and so here it is. Here is the full storage container. Cinema Roll, very cute, reading a little bedtime story on a swan to his besties there. And if you haven't guessed already, I purchased quite a few of these, and that is why the package that this was supposed to be in was going to be super duper heavy. Now this on its own is not all that heavy, but if you take this and these and all of these, this was going to be a pretty heavy package. So if you were not able to discern what the problem exactly was just yet, essentially what happened was, once I ordered these bins, Spreenow decided to take it upon themselves to stack them up all on top of each other, not in this folded state, but in their fully opened up complete state. And I was able to discern this because I saw the measurements of this projected box size, and it was much larger than any box I have ever received before. The biggest box I received in the past was one with a couple of wigs and some socks and stuff, but that box was the biggest one that I've gotten so far, and this one was supposed to be even bigger than that. And I determined that it had to be because they had received these boxes. I guess they received them like this, or maybe they just assumed that's how I wanted to receive them, and they stacked them up all on top of each other, making an extremely heavy big box that was going to be sent to me for $100 US. Talk about scare of the year, and it wasn't even Halloween yet. So as you can imagine, as soon as I saw that redonkulous price, I messaged Spreenow almost immediately and was like, there's either an error here or we have to do something about this, because this $100 thing is not going to work out. Basically, I told them and showed them photographs of these little guys right here and said, you know, they can be folded up. You know, is there some way you guys can fold them up, or maybe separate them into two separate packages so that the price can not be insane? And essentially they did both of those. They both broke them down into their folded up form and sent them to me in two separate packages, so I was able to get them without having to break my bank. So I do not blame Spreenow for that little scare that they sent my way. They are just only there to get the items for me and package them and ship them my way. They're not really obligated to say, hey, this is going to be a pretty heavy box, do you want it to be a little bit cheaper? It's not really their job. It's my job as the consumer to say, that's a little bit heavy, let's try to ship this another way. And fortunately, Spreenow are very nice, and they were very understanding of that and decided to package them up separately for me, and I paid for them as two individual packages. And after that, it was pretty much just a done deal, and they got shipped right on over to me and just arrived the day before today. But now they're here, and now I can get rid of what has been another scary situation. So as far as my Lolita wardrobe goes, unlike most people who have this very cutesy, like, aesthetic means of storing all of their Lolita, up till now, I have been storing most of my Lolita like this. Yeah, so as you can see, this site is also pretty gosh darn scary. So this is how I have kept my Lolita up until now. I have kept them in these little plastic bags. Essentially, whenever I get either a dress or some accessories, some order from Taobao or maybe via Baiyi, and I have these little baggies left over, I pretty much use them to store my items. And I actually do recommend storing your items that way if it is applicable to you to store them. But the more that I got things, the less it was getting reasonable to store them without having these bags slip and slide all over the place in my closet on the top shelf and just fall off repeatedly. I'm able to somehow maneuver them in there to get them to stay straight, but that's not really going to be a long-term solution, especially if I plan on picking up more accessories in the future, which of course I am. So I decided to do some searching for some storage bins, but I wanted them to be, you know, very cutesy, very on brand with a sort of pastel kawaii aesthetic. And of course I found all these Sanrio themed ones and I absolutely had to get them. So what we're going to do now, because this is actually our 300 subscribers special, I am going to be opening up these boxes, showing them all to you, and then we are going to go over there where I have all of my Lolita items that I just showed you just now, and we are going to be packaging them up in these boxes individually. I'm going to separate all my headbows, my OTKs, my large jewelry, all of those are going to be going in these bins. Now, I don't have that many items that I think I'm going to make use of every one of these bins. I got a lot of them because I would just like to do some straightening out in my room in general, and so I would like to have some left over that I can use for other things. But most of these are going to be used to hold my Lolita, and I couldn't be happier because I would like to be able to store them in a way that is aesthetically pleasing and also very manageable. So to start off, this was the one that was just on top. This was the Cinema Roll one. Now, I'm actually a very basic Sanrio fan. For the longest time, I didn't really know about the brand Sanrio. I was just like, Hello Kitty, and that's it. And because of that, I am very basic. Hello Kitty is my favorite Sanrio character to this day. I have way too much Hello Kitty merch, and maybe one day in the future I'll show that off if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. But I wanted to not get only Hello Kitty as far as it related to these bins, so I did pick up a Cinema Roll one. I thought he was super cute on this one, so definitely going to be storing some items in this one. This is more what it looks like back here. I know the light is kind of like mixing it up a little bit, but a little bit muted, soft colors. Very, very cute, very pretty. And I had to pick this one. So here is the next one. I did get one of Kuromi. She is my second favorite Sanrio character, I would say. I'm very much into her little, like, cheeky little aesthetic here. She's very much an icon for the pastel gothers who like the dark colors and all that, and Lolita especially, and kawaii culture in general, so I had to pick her up. So here is her bin, all properly constructed and everything. I'm going to be linking the Taobao shop that I purchased these from in the description below. You may have seen them on AliExpress, but they are quite expensive on AliExpress. Like, they're like $10 each, and these are $3 on Taobao, so I would highly recommend them. I wasn't sure about how large they were going to be because I am a filthy American and everything is listed in centimeters, but, you know, seeing them now in person, they are more than large enough for what I need them for. So here is finally a Hello Kitty out of all of that. Unfortunately, most of the Hello Kitty ones that I wanted were sold out, so I couldn't really get some of the really nice ones, but I thought getting, you know, a nice pastel pink and stacks kind of thing, because I wear a lot of pink and stacks, and so I feel like she would be very nice to match most of my accessories. It's not quite as illustrated as the other one, she's just sitting here, but that's all I need, honestly. And just in case it's not super clear how to put these together, I guess I'll try to show it off a little bit like here. So basically, it kind of unfolds like this. So this is the part that you stick in the bottom. So it's going to unfold pretty much in shape, but it's, you know, it's not going to stay because there's nothing really holding it to support it. So you just stick this in the container, press it down like so, and there you go. Perfectly good. So just make sure that this stays, you know, nice and secure at the bottom. It should once you put things in here, and there you go. Like, staring at these boxes right now, like seeing them like behind the camera, like stacked up on top of each other so far, I can definitely see why that was going to be a very big, very heavy box. So here is the other Hello Kitty one I managed to snag. Now, I don't remember them all exactly, but I did remember that I think I was only able to get 2 Hello Kitty ones. There were some more, but I just didn't like how they looked. Really gotta press it down in here so it doesn't slip and slide around. And here we go, the next box all put together. So this is the smallest one that I got. It is another Kuromi one featuring her on a carousel because, you know, that's kind of my aesthetic around here as it relates to Lolita. I really like the carousel prints. And I picked up this small one because I think I'm gonna not really use this one for Lolita. I think I'm just gonna use this to put some items on my little nightstand in. This design is a lot more gorgeous than I noticed in pictures. If you look at the top of it, none of the other ones have anything on the top, but this one has Kuromi on it with her name on the heart. Look at the little ribbons right here. If this was the design of a Lolita dress, I would absolutely buy it. It is an all-around print. Nothing on the bottom, of course, but This one might be my favorite one out of all of them, even though it's the smallest one. I'm going to enjoy having this on my nightstand. Finally, I have something super cute to look at in my room. And so it appears as though this is the last one. I did pick up 6, but just looked at 5. So the final one was another Kuromi one. I was going to get a Hello Kitty one that was just Hello Kitty's face right here, but I decided I feel like 6 is enough. So I decided to just go with, I think I ended up picking Cinnamoroll instead. Now I did consider getting one for my Melody, but again, none of the ones that were available were ones that I super duper liked all that much. They were okay, but they weren't really for me. So I just ended up getting another Kuromi one. And there she is. I might keep this one out as well. This one just looks, so cute. I really like this one. Or I may do the Hello Kitty. Maybe I'll do a Hello Kitty and a Kuromi to stay out front, and the rest of these will be stored away in my closet with my items. So that was the unboxing. I hope you enjoyed the first part of the video. Now we're going to go right over to where all of my Lolita is and try to store them in these bins. We're going to kind of try to separate them into socks, head bows, any jewelry I have, and just put them in these bins accordingly. Maybe we can do like one of those like TikTok, Instagram videos where they have like people that like put things like, I don't know, my sister told me about this really weird trend of like people like going to the store and buying items and then like putting them into like containers and like storing them and such. Like they take the sugar out of the bag of sugar and put it in a container that says sugar. I don't know, it's one of those aesthetic things that people do. I'm not really about that life, but I guess I'm about to be about that life, aren't I? Let's see how well I do with it. So I showed you this clip earlier, but this is so far how I have been storing my Lolita accessories. As you can see, it is quite a mess. I pretty much basically just stuff all of my accessories in these bags, and I have tons and tons of them. Now, they aren't super random. Actually, they're not really random at all. Most of them are organized in pretty specific ways, but it's just becoming a hassle to store them. Like, look at this. This is my bag dedicated to anything Lolita and Kalitas, and it is just massive. It takes up so much space in my closet. It's super heavy. And we're going to have to break that down ASAP. This has all of my Angelic Pretty, so Angelic Pretty socks, head bows, and a couple of Taobao items are in there as well, which is pretty random. Those are my gloaming items right there for my jellyfish dress. Here is a huge sack of Roji socks. Just all of my Roji socks I decided to put together so I would know where they all are, but it's just ridiculous. This bag is just for like one specific coordinate, and there's just no need for that anymore. We want it to all be pretty neat and cohesive, so let's just start storing those right now.